Words cannot describe the exhilarating feeling that is rushing through my body right now as Piccolo is revealed to have a new form. Now, guys, this all began on Discord as one of my friends sent me a message telling me that Piccolo got a new transformation, and I immediately thought to myself, this has to be a lie or this has to be fake, because I was thinking to myself, first of all, Namekians don't really get transformations. I mean, they can have that huge, big kaiju-like form, they can fuse with each other, but they don't really get new forms. The whole concept of a super Namekian is really just a bunch of Namekians fusing with each other. If you've ever read Dragon Ball Multiverse, they have that, fanfiction character Gas Korlot that was basically, what if all the Namekians fused to fight against Frieza and his army, and, you have Piccolo fusing with Nail and Kami, but there really is no Namekian transformation. So when somebody told me that, I'm like, this just feels weird. So I immediately told the first friend, show me a link, because I don't believe this. And as he was sending me that link, I had 3 other friends all tag me on Discord telling me, yeah, Piccolo got a new transformation, make a new video about this. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. And then I watched the trailer, and then another friend sent me a link to Herms's translation of the trailer, and I said to myself, this really is real. This really is real that Piccolo has a new transformation, and it's so shocking because I, I called it Golden Piccolo because, it's kind of like a lighter tinted green hue. He doesn't really look different, so it doesn't really feel like a new transformation, but the mere fact that Piccolo gets some type of power-up and is going to be a lot stronger is just so cool, and it just makes me wonder, what would it have been like if Dragon Ball Super was still an active, ongoing show? Because obviously, Piccolo getting a new transformation doesn't really mean much, because his new transformation does not mean the same as a character like Goku or Vegeta getting a new transformation, because when those new characters get new transformations, it's usually against the biggest bad. But when Piccolo gets something, it's just for him to get strong enough to compete somewhat with the higher level characters. It's never to really be, the big guy of the show. So, my honest thoughts on all of this is that I am super excited, especially about this movie now, because originally, guys, I'll be honest with you, I really didn't have that much interest in this movie. It's just like, it's a movie about Pan and the resurrection of the Red Ribbon Army. I love the Android arc. The Android arc is my favorite arc in Dragon Ball history, but, it just felt too happy, cutesy. It doesn't really seem as intense as the Broly movie or Resurrection F did. It kind of seems to follow that more light-hearted Battle of Gods tone, and I usually like the darker elements of Dragon Ball personally. But it all changed when I found out from previous releases that Gohan and Piccolo are going to be main characters in this movie, and to me, that was immediately the turning point of my interest in this movie, because Gohan and Piccolo have forever been my favorite characters in Dragon Ball history. And I've always said, if you want to know who I am as a person, look at Gohan, Piccolo, and Master Roshi and make them one person and you have Qaaman. Seriously, my real life personality is a combination of Gohan, Piccolo, and Master Roshi. And I'm pretty sure you can figure out why those are all contributing factors. But ultimately, guys, as far as the Piccolo part of this goes, I'm excited, and I think for a plot line where Gohan and Piccolo are going to be the main characters, because obviously Goku and Vegeta are always the strongest characters, they're going to always have a different role. I'm happy for this, that side characters, well, Piccolo and Gohan are reduced more to side characters now, are getting their shine, but I also understand that this doesn't really break them through to the top of Dragon Ball. So unfortunately, I'm not overly optimistic, but damn, I would be lying to you if I'm not excited about Piccolo getting some love. Because he has been shafted from the dawn of time in Dragon Ball. From losing to Frost, to fighting invisible bugs in the Tournament of Power to, I mean, just getting shot through the heart by Frieza in, the Namek arc. I mean, there's so many examples of Piccolo just getting shafted. Cell tricks him, runs away, and Piccolo doesn't get to finish him off. Cell snaps his neck. I mean, how many Piccolo examples do you want to give me? And as I'm saying this, you're probably in the comment section just saying, Qaaman, you probably forgot about this moment where Piccolo got wrecked. It's just all this Piccolo slander. I've had it. And all of my friends have made fun of me for this, especially Piccolo losing to Chopsticks by Beerus in Battle of Gods, if Clay's watching this video. So, as you can see, it's been very painful to be a Piccolo fan. And, to a lesser degree, it's also been pretty painful to be a Gohan fan. So, I'm so happy that they made a movie directly about my two favorite characters in the franchise. Now, in terms of Gohan, because I want to switch the topic a little bit here, if you look at the future timeline, and if you look at the present timeline, the thing that I love about both timelines is that the future timeline technically happened first, right? And in the future timeline, the whole world was basically ravaged by the androids, specifically 17 and 18, because 16 didn't really exist in the future, and Cell came much later on, so it was really just 17 and 18 that just wreaked the havoc on everybody, and for whatever reason, 19 just wasn't around in the future. So as a result of it, Gohan died, and Trunks had to go back in time to fix things, to fight the androids, do all, so on and so forth. And what I love about the android arc so much is that Gohan and Trunks beat the androids. They managed to fix both timelines together. And that's one of the great messages about Dragon Ball that I've always loved. Like, future Gohan may have died fighting the androids, but he became an even greater prodigy in the present, and he beat Cell, which is another conversation because a lot of people are suspecting that this great new, enemy that was translated, is going to be Cell. And to be honest with you guys, I'm just not convinced. Everybody seems to be convincing me that, trying to convince me that Cell is going to be this main bad, and I just don't see enough evidence. There was the whole thing about the poster shot and all of that, and it's just, I get it, and I guess if you're trying to artificially engineer like a new Cell, that would be cool. I just don't see enough evidence. I just think it can be some newer, stronger type of android that they can create, and why would it be Cell? I mean, there have been some theories about, Cell Jr. survived, so I guess when Gohan was hitting them so hard that they were being ripped apart, maybe, a Cell survived in its core and it regenerated. But if that happened, then what would the Cell Jr. have done on the many years that it's been on Earth? So you mean to tell me some remaining scientists found it and then, remade it into a stronger Cell, or that Cell grew up into regular Cell? I get it. It's a bit too... There's too many plot points that would have to, be combined in order for that plot to really exist, which is why I'm not really a believer in that theory, But if it was, Cell's my favorite villain. So, at the end of the day, guys, this movie has the potential to be my favorite Dragon Ball movie ever, because Piccolo, Gohan, and Cell would all be in it. And if that were to happen, it would be great. And I really love the fact that, Gohan is really showing his dominant paternal instincts by going to save his daughter, because obviously that's what he should do. That's his kid. But what I love about that is that it's the same thing as what Goku did at the beginning of Dragon Ball Z, or what we called later on as Dragon Ball Z, when Raditz took Gohan away and Goku had to go and try and save him. I just love the fact that we're seeing a transition from parent to parent, where Goku and Gohan are going through the same situations. So ultimately, guys, I'm just going to say this. I am ultra hyped for this movie. I'm not overly hyped about the long-term aspects of how strong Piccolo and Gohan can be, because, like I said, Goku and Vegeta make Toei too much money. So, as great as they can be in this movie, long-term, they're gonna be shafted to the side again if Dragon Ball Super makes a return. But in the moment, at this time, I will admit to you with 100% honesty, guys, this is the most hyped Dragon Ball movie I've ever wanted to see. Specifically because of Gohan and Piccolo and the potential for Cell to come back. I was somewhat excited for Broly because I loved the original movie for nostalgic purposes, and I thought Dragon Ball Super Broly was really good. And a lot of the other Dragon Ball movies are relatively meh or really cool. But this one just feels different, guys, and it's weird because a lot of other people that I know personally aren't that interested in it, but for me, I'm an outcast. I'm excited for this movie, guys, and you would know that's true because I usually don't make news videos, but when I do, it's important. So that's all I gotta say for today, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. And remember, as I always say, to have a great day, guys, and stay cool and stay safe in these crazy times.